Hello and welcome to my cybersecurity training course for beginners. Today's topic is asset management. Asset management is one of the most important aspects of any successful information security program. Now, let's define what we mean by asset management. An asset can be tangible or intangible. A tangible asset is something like a physical building, a piece of hardware, an equipment, a machine. So those are tangible assets. Intangible assets can be like intellectual property, software design documents, algorithms. Software can be classified as an intangible asset in some instances. Now, the first step in an information asset management is asset identification. So you need to identify and record all the assets that the organization has. So this will be all the hardware, all the softwares, laptops, physical buildings, heavy machinery. It depends on the business that you're in. For example, if you're in a hospital, you need to really do an inventory of all the machines in the hospital. And that can be a very daunting task. It's not really an IT task per se, because you will have IT assets, but you also have assets that have nothing to do with IT. You will need to be working with facilities, with the business, with senior management. So this is one of the most difficult tasks to get right for the organization. Once you do all your asset identification, you need to record those assets somewhere. So they are usually recorded in what organizations refer to as asset inventory or asset register, or even in some instances CMDB. CMDB stands for Configuration Management Database. Now, don't be afraid of this task. What we're talking about here is really record management. So many organizations record their assets in a spreadsheet. There is nothing wrong with that. A better way, once the organization is a little bit more mature, they use something like RSA Archer or any piece of software dedicated for asset management. Now, the second step, once you identify all the assets, once you make sure they are accurate and complete list, is for you to identify what we refer to as crown jewels. Crown jewels are the most important asset for an organization. So how do you determine that? So you start by thinking in terms of what's important to the business and what's the impact of this asset being compromised or lost. For example, for a hospital, the most important asset may be patient data. You don't want patient data to be outside in the wild. For a software development startup that's developing a search engine, so the algorithm is their most important asset. For a bank, it can be the core banking database and customer data. So the way to do it, you need to run a series of workshops with senior executives, with business leaders, with product owners, to really get an understanding of what really matters to the business. So, and the importance of this step is for you to start prioritizing your security control. For example, if you have a let's take the bank for example. To protect your core banking database, you need to make sure you have appropriate database security controls. You need to have appropriate access management, firewalling, two-factor authentication, all of that, because the business really cares about core banking. Now, if you're talking about something that's public, not important, the bank doesn't care about it, in this case, you don't have to invest so much in security controls. If you enjoyed this series, I'll be creating more and more of these small educational videos, so please leave a comment below and tell me which topic you'd like to hear about, and subscribe to my channel to not miss any of those videos. Thanks.